What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Avionics. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as I do put out quite a few videos throughout the month. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege version of Shockwave. Now, on the box, I don't have the box anymore, but the box says he is considered leader class, even though that is up in the air whether he actually is. But Shockwave serves as Megatron's main computer frame brain man. So right out of the box, he comes out looking just like that, with all of his armor and his arsenal attached to him. This version of Shockwave, he is a deep purple compared to some of the earlier generations where he's more of a light purple, but I really like the deep purple over the light purple. So here in the front, right away, the first thing that I notice is his eye. Can't really see it in this light per se, but his single eye is a translucent little eyeball, and on the top he has this little translucent piece of rectangular piece here. Let's see, right there, for enough light to shine through to be able to illuminate his solo eye, which is pretty cool. So like I said, all of this is his armor and arsenal. We can strip him down, but before I strip him down, he does transform into his Cybertronian spaceship in 28 steps. But let's go ahead and remove all this armor to see what he looks like without it. We'll take a close look at all these pieces, like this piece right here. He's kind of back heavy with all this stuff on him. But this is a piece that is removable and will be used again to transform him into his Cybertronian spaceship. Now his little shoulder pads, I guess you'd say, these come right off. They peg in. This is left, there's his right, and it does have flexible, like arm-like things, arm blasters. And I like how the silver they use, it shows a lot of weathered or battle damage, which is really cool. I like how they use that. I prefer the Transformers with battle damage. We got some like fins, some flight fins. So he's got his right and left shoulder armor. And then these feet or cannons are removable. They're like, I guess, like ski guns, ski cannons. So these come right off. They're pegged in pretty good. So these flight wings, they kind of fold and move. So there's a close look at the ski blasters, ski shoe blasters. It's got a right and a left. Put those to the side. So here is Shockwave all stripped down. And of course, like I said, his iconic eye, his iconic antennas, and then his iconic chest piece, which is what makes him stand out, along with his color, among other Transformers. Now let's take a look at the finer details of Shockwave up close. His profile view, his feet, and I really like how this hose is like a flexible line hose that goes to his back. That's pretty cool. And then this kind of looks like a flashlight, but it's part of his Cybertronian ship appearance. All right, let's go over his articulation. He's got let's not forget, he's got Decepticon logos on both forearms. So his head doesn't move very well. It just goes, you can't look up, you can't really look down so much. But his head does turn, as you can see. These kind of remind me of like Thor's helmet, those two antenna wings on his head. Shoulders can move Out in front of him, he's got the wingspan movement going on, and he can raise his arms up. Woohoo! Yay! Touchdown! All right, and they do swivel, shoulder ball joint swivel, and then his elbows are move, and they don't swivel, but you get a good shoulder swivel. And then his hands, both hands, his one right hand can rotate. It has a grip. It's funny because he actually doesn't have a gun that comes with him that he can hold, but he can steal like Barricade's guns or whoever else's guns, Soundwave's guns, and use them if he decides to. All right, and then his torso, or at the waist, he can twist. As far as bending forward, he can bend forward and balance pretty well. Look at that. That's pretty good. Also, you do hear the ratcheting of his pelvic joint. It does ratchet, which is nice. It kind of locks. I don't know, some people like that, some people don't. I like it because I know that it's a nice, tight grip in posing. And he can bend. Oh, he can bend backwards pretty good. Look at him. He's bouncing pretty good. Is Shockwave a limbo competitor? I think he can. And he does have a quad or leg swivel. He does bend at the knees. It's kind of like a semi-ratcheting feeling to it, but he can bend his knees back pretty good to get some good posable positions. He bounces really well on his feet. That's one feature I really like about Shockwave. Besides his color, the way he just looks badass. He looks menacing, especially with all the armor, but his movement is very limited with all of his armor on. But as you can see, he does some pretty good balancing on different kinds of postures. Rawr. And then his feet, they do swivel, like tilt a little to the right, to the left. That's pretty much all his articulation though. So like I said, he does transform into a Cybertronian ship in 28 steps. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the time lapse that I usually do, and we're just gonna go ahead and transition into his Cybertronian ship. And before we do, here are the transformation instructions. We'll take a quick gander at that. Not too big of a fold out, but as you can see, it shows all the different steps, and it has some good explanation on some parts here, like his gamma disruptor launcher is what this is. Over here we have his thermal range neuron beam, and then those feet skis or feet ski shooters, whatever, those are dual pulse radiograph bi cannons. All right, let's go ahead and transform him. All right, so in 28 steps, we have transformed Shockwave into his huge Cybertronian battleship. You can see all his cannons and blasters and whatnot are all armed on his wings. Here's the front. That looks like it could be like a huge laser coming out of these headlights. But yeah, he is a huge Cybertronian battleship. Now he is a lot big. So transforming him into this mode on a scale of 1 to 5, level of difficulty 5 being the easiest, 1 being the most difficult, I give him a 3. There are some parts where tabs were hard to kind of line up, so it took probably about close to 15 minutes to transform him. And but the more you transform him back and forth, the easier he shall be. So he is actually quite bigger than Starscream, the Seeker. So let's go ahead and bust out Starscream. Skirt. So here they are side to side with the rear ends lined up. So that's how much longer Shockwave's ship is compared to Starscream. So yeah, so definitely a lot longer. Probably about the same height. But yeah, so there's Starscream versus Shockwave in their Cybertronian ship form. Takara Tomy and Hasbro do a very good job of translating every piece as they should. And then on the very top here is another translucent piece where light can shine through. This is not where his head is. His head is like in here. But here's another translucent light piece where light can shine through to kind of make it look cool right there on top. Alright, now let's go see how he fares up against Megatron. His commander. There is Megatron. Side by side. So he is a little shorter than Megatron when he is stripped down to his bare machine bot mode. But he does stand taller in when he is wearing all of his armor. Let's go do that real quick. So here we have Shockwave in his full armor. Let's go ahead and bust out Optimus Prime here. Get an Autobot scale. And there we have him up against Prime. Overall, I really like the look and articulation of Shockwave. He looks so menacing even with or without all of his armor, but especially with all this armor on him. He's very, very detailed. He articulates very well without all the armor attached to him and not so much with it on him. But that's gonna wrap up our review on Shockwave, Leader Class Decepticon in the War for Cybertron Trilogy line by Hasbro and Takara Tomy. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. Leave your comments down below and I'll get back to them when I can. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for more figure videos like this. Alright guys, see you next time.